All right, welcome back everybody to another game preview. We just got done talking about UConn and Arizona. What we talked about is our game of the week, one that could very much rival that. We've got Alabama and Illinois playing in Chicago, so essentially a home game for Illinois, although not technically labeled as such. Alabama getting a big win to start the season in St. John's, but then dropping one to Purdue at home now gets a chance for redemption against Illinois and Chicago. Illinois, on the other hand, handled business against a very strong Texas Tech team. So we've got two battle-tested teams. This one's going to be really fun. Alabama obviously comes in with potent offense, fast pace. Illinois, surprisingly, you brought this up to me as well, plays pretty fast as well, but should be fun, should be fireworks. What do you like?
Yeah, probably a lot of points to be scored in this game. To be honest with you, I'm sure Alabama was not pleased with their offensive performance against the Boilermakers, but I've been pretty surprised with this Illinois team. I thought they played pretty well. Um, Kind of a couple new European faces over there. Merkovich has been playing insane. That guy's been a great pickup for Underwood. Ivisic transferred over from Arkansas. Right? And they still have Boswell, Hummerkaus, right? So they're a pretty complete team in terms of all facets, right? They can score, they can defend, they can board, they can shoot, kind of. And I think that's kind of where they're going to have a little bit of an edge over Alabama. I wasn't really impressed with the Alabama bigs against Purdue, and we saw kind of more in that St. John's game too. That it was a lot of guard play that led to their success. Holloway's been playing pretty well. Phylon too didn't really have a great game against Purdue, but still a threat. Still someone you gotta throw bodies at and be aware of at all times, right? So I really think this is a tough matchup for Bull Bowen and Mallet to match up against these insanely tall Europeans. So not to mention Stojakovic, who's
Yeah.
NBA bloodline, and he's been a hooper, getting buckets, and he's not even one you really talk about with all these big bodies they throw. And yeah, Kylan Boswell is their shortest player at 6'2". Everybody else is what, 6'7", 6'6" and over. So if they're able to, oh jeez, if they're able to score at that size, like, how do you stop them? So I think, once again, like we said with UConn, this is an Illinois game to lose, right? It's a glorified home game. You come in playing well. Alabama's off the loss. Can you take the win when lights are the brightest and stay hot, continue into next week?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like you said, guard play for Alabama. That's their key, versus a little bit different for Illinois. But yeah, in that Purdue game, Alabama definitely got exposed, as in if both of their guards are not playing well, unfortunately, or not both of them, but if one of their guards is playing well, but one of them is not, they're going to struggle. They need both to be firing on all cylinders for this team to work because of how fast they run, because of their turnover margin, because of how many threes they take and how many times they shoot the ball and just how many times they get in the hand of their guards that they're ball handling. It's LeBaron Philon and Aiden Holloway are the determining factors in whether they are going to win or lose on every single given week. Now, size is definitely the mismatch for them, but I think LeBaron Philon not shooting the ball well, not playing particularly well against Purdue, kind of led to the downfall there. And obviously, TKR is an All-American, so you can take it with a grain of salt how he maybe bullied some of those Alabama guys, but Illinois got some big guys of their own. And while they may not pose the same giant threat that Trey Kaufman-Renn did, it's just going to have to make Alabama play a little bit more conservative, especially on the defensive side of the ball when you're attacking for steals and you're trying to get those turnovers. Because, like you said, Stojakovic will punish you, but he'll also feed those bigs. I mean, he's got great vision. He's got an NBA level IQ. And honestly, if you watch that Illinois Texas Tech game, that was so much fun to watch him and JT Toppin, two NBA players, just going back and forth, trading blows. And for Stojakovic to show that he could do that really makes Illinois scary. just show that when he needs to take over a game, when he needs to boost some energy into the crowd, he needs to do something like that, he can do it. So this game being in Chicago, I think he's going to play well again. Obviously, what we saw is he plays well when the lights are brightest, and they don't get much brighter than playing a top 15 team. So
Yeah,
be a really fun one. And like you said, a lot of points, two teams that play fast. So we're gonna see if Alabama can keep up. But on any given day, with the way they shoot the three and how much they do that, Alabama can win any game. That's the good and bad thing about them.
yeah. And like UConn, Arizona, spread and all those numbers aren't out yet. Probably going to be around the same one as UConn and Arizona, maybe a little bit less because of the neutral site. But I mean, I'm curious to see where that over under comes in at because this is a lot of pace, a lot of transition buckets. So probably going to be up in like what the 170s. I don't
Yeah,
know. It could be
170.
it could be that high. So another great game and a good week preview to the turkey tournaments coming up next
Yeah,
week.
it is crazy to think about, we say Alabama, is going to be disappointed with their offensive performance against Purdue. For them to put up 80 points and that be a disappointment, um, I think one shows a little bit of flaws that Alabama has, but also two is pretty scary if you're a team getting ready to play them because you've got to put up at least 80.
Yeah, because they fly. So
Yeah, and Holloway did surprise me in that Purdue game. I mean, he came out firing, came out ready to play,
yeah,
and
he did.
who
He
knows? I
actually
mean,
did.
if Phylon's hitting his shots like in that game, it could be a completely different story than what it was. It was really hard
Yeah,
for us as Purdue fans, to be able to
yeah.
missing. But
If they're both on, it's going to be a great game and you know good test for both these teams again. Like I've been feel like a broken record, but that's what happens in these neutral site early games out of conference. You just don't focus on the result and try to build on it.
yeah, and Avicic, their center, I believe is over 7 feet, right? Like he's a big
Yeah,
guy. I mean, like that's gonna be a problem in and of itself. I mean, Illinois just this year when they go into the transfer portal and they get these European guys. I mean, the European guys, they know how to play, they know how to score, they just know how to play basketball, man. And it's a scary sight. And it's kind of funny because I feel like this matchup, you're getting like the Europeans versus like the complete opposite in Alabama,
yeah.
which is like grew up, Southeast, a lot of these guys from like playing just like ball, just going hard, crazy.
Physical ball, yeah, no doubt. Just going full speed at the rim to where some of these European guys are a little bit more tactical, fundamentally sound, like we see some of the Europeans are. So,
Yeah,
clash.
I want them to mic up some of these guys in this game. I think it'd be funny to hear the European shit talk versus the Alabama shit talk, and I think
You think
that
there's you think there's a lot of European shit talk?
yeah, I think they're saying simple yet hurtful comments, and then who knows what these Alabama players are saying, man. I mean, I'm sure they're getting all up in their ear trying to throw
It's
them off.
things you and I cannot repeat, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why we're on a podcast. They're on the court, so
we're sticking in our lanes.
yeah, we definitely are. So if we're putting out a spread similar we did to UConn game, let's go ahead and do that now. You said you think it's gonna be a little bit under. I'm probably gonna lean. I'm gonna go 5.5 for
Whoa! All
Um,
right,
and that's only because of this Alabama most recent loss to Purdue, losing at home by 7. I'm gonna give a little bit more points to Illinois because of that. So I'm gonna go five and a
yeah.
half. What do
I
you
don't
like?
think it'll be that high, but I think that it's I could see Illinois covering that if that makes sense. So like I think 3-4, maybe 4-ish. I'll say 4 for my spread, but I think Illinois definitely could easily cover that. But then again, if Bama shoots lights out like they did in that St. John's game, this could be popcorn worthy level basketball, and they could stay in and cover that and even win it. So
Yeah, and I mean that's the fun part about Alabama, like playing in any of these games, is that even if they're down by 15, 17, they're gonna make a run. They're gonna hit like four threes in a row and be right back in the game. So this is gonna be a full, 40 minutes of basketball.
yeah,
Like there's gonna be no breaks in this game. It is going to be go, go, go from the minute we tip off to the last 30 seconds, which will probably last somewhere between 1 and 2 hours.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if the winner wins by like 1 or 2 points. Like I genuinely wouldn't be shocked.